Again, look at the second word, wonderful. The first one is stressed, the next two are unstressed. Wonderful, not wonderful, second syllable stressed, not wonderful, the third syllable stressed. Talking about next one, mature. The first syllable is unstressed, the second one is stressed. You are going to pronounce the second syllable, mature, second syllable with more prominence. Mature, not mature. So second syllable. In independence, there are one, dependence, 4 syllables. And which one is stressed? So this one, stressed. Pen is stressed, and the other are unstressed. It is independence. Independence. So you can pronounce. And next one, artistic, 3 syllables. Which one is stressed? The second one, artistic. First one is unstressed, third one is unstressed, the second one is stressed. Artistic. This was a little exposure to what exactly is called stressed syllable and unstressed syllable. But these things are too technical. I don't want to discuss them in too much detail. Hope when the college opens, I will be delivering a detailed lecture on some off day about rhythm in poetry. Next one are the types of rhythm. What are types of rhythm? You know, rising rhythm, the one which rises at the end, literally, and you know, the one which has unstressed syllable in the beginning and stressed syllable at the end, that is called rising rhythm. And falling, which one has, the one which has stressed syllables in the beginning, unstressed syllables at the end. And fast rhythm is the one which has lots of unstressed syllables in it. And slow is the one that has lots of heavy syllables, I mean the stress syllables in it. Light, somewhat similar to fast. Light is also fast. So the one which makes use of unstressed syllables. Heavy, the one in which when you try to read out a line and you take time, like for example, a line, some lines from Tennyson's poem Break, Break, Break. Break, break, break on thy cold grey stones, O sea. See, you cannot run through this line. It has a heavy rhythm. You have to stop because there are too many heavy beats, too many stress syllables used in a single line. Break, break, break. There are pauses as well. Break, break, break on thy cold grey stones, O sea. And I would that my tongue could utter the thoughts that arise in me, especially the first line and the second line. So this is heavy rhythm. Choppy means the one which is not consistent. You like this. There is no consistent pattern like this. I mean, there is normally a pattern. Choppy rhythm doesn't have a pattern. Unstressed, and then remember, too many. Stressed, and then unstressed, unstressed, unstressed. For example, no rhythm at all. You cannot actually find a pattern. So choppy rhythm doesn't have a pattern, a regular pattern. And smooth, which has a pattern, a consistent pattern, and you run through it smoothly. That's called as, you know, smooth rhythm. This was our discussion of rhythm. Let's come towards rhyme. In Urdu, we call rhyme kafiya. Kafiya is a Urdu translation of rhyme. So what is kafiya? What is rhyme? As, just for the sake of formality, a definition is given. A word that ends with the same sounds as another. So, what does it mean? When a word has the same sound at the end or sounds at the end as another word, then you will call both the words as rhymed words. For example, if I say man and then I say span, man and span have the same ending, N-N-A-A. Not just alphabetically, but also sound-wise. In the same way we can say pin and tin. Both of them have the same endings, so they are both rhymed words. In the same way I can say tall and whole, T-A-L-L, H-A-L-L, tall and whole. Both of them have the same end sounds. They are called as rhymes, and you understand that very well. And in Urdu we say shan, jan, an, man, all of them are rhymes. All of them are kafiyas, remember. You understand that very well. So, the thing that you need to understand is rhyme scheme. What is a rhyme scheme? You need to know. I mean, you need to understand how the poet has made use of rhymes in a particular poem. So, what is rhyme scheme? A regular pattern of rhymes in a poem. A regular pattern of rhymes in a poem is called as rhyme scheme. Right from the first line till to the very last line of the poem, whatever rhymes the poet has used, whatever plan or scheme of rhymes the poet has used, that's called as rhyme scheme. Let me give you a practical demonstration, remember. So, first of all, you need to understand that marking of rhyme scheme. Rhyme schemes are actually marked with the help of alphabets, A, B, C, D. So, if two words rhyme together, the first two words that rhyme together will be called as A. The next two words, or even more words that rhyme after the first two words, they will be called as B and C and D. We call them as rhyme scheme. Let me give you a practical demonstration of rhyme scheme. Example, and here it is. I will read out a poem from William Shakespeare, a sonnet from William Shakespeare, and then we are going to analyze the rhyme scheme. You need to remember one thing. The rhymes are found in the last words of the lines. So last words of every line, they are to be analyzed for rhyme scheme. There is a sonnet written by William Shakespeare, a famous sonnet, celebrated sonnet. There are 14 lines in that poem, and the poem goes like this. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's leaves hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. At every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Now, nor shall death break, thou wanderest in its shade, wherein eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Let me analyze this sonnet by William Shakespeare, consisting of 14 lines. So, let me write the last words. First one, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? I am going to use day, the last word. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Last word of every line. Keep that in mind. Last word of every line is rhymed. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and often is his cold complexion. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May. And I repeat. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's leaves hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. And every fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death break, thou wanderest in its shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. These are the 14 lines. Look at the last word, day. The first one is always A. Remember, the first one is always A. Day. Temperate. Do you think temperate and day have the same sound? No. Day has a different sound, and temperate has a different sound. If day was A, then it is different, it is B. Next one. What about May? May and day are the same in sound. So they are rhymed words. So if day is A, then May is also A. Temperate and date are identical. They have the same sound. So if temperate is B, then date is also B. Coming towards shines. Shines does not seem to have similar sound, and it doesn't have the same sound as is found in all these 4 words. So shines has a different, absolutely different sound. So that's why if this last one was B, it will be called as C. Dimmed is also different. It has a different sound at the end as compared to shines and det and may, all of them. So if the last one was C, it is different, it will be called as D. And declines and shines are the same. See? And dimmed and trimmed, trimmed and dimmed, untrimmed and dimmed are the same. D. Coming towards fade, the next line, the ninth line, fade. Fade is not rhymed with any of them. Fade and shines, different. Fade and dimmed, different. Fade and day, different. Fade and temperate, different. So the last word was D, it will be called as E. Ost, F. Shade and fade are the same, E. Grossed with ost, F. And C and D are identical. They are not similar to any of the others. So if the last one was F, it will be called as G, and this one will be called as G. So this is the rhyme scheme. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's how you can actually mark the rhyme scheme of a poem. I hope you have got it. This was the second thing that I want to discuss with you. So we have discussed so far two sound devices, rhythm and then rhyme. Rhyme is also a sound device. It gives you pleasure, auditory experience. So fade and shade and trimmed and dimmed, all of them give pleasure, remember. So they are also what we call as sound devices. Alliteration or consonants. What is alliteration or consonants? This is another sound device that is frequently used by poets in their poetry. What is it? Simple definition: repetition of the same consonant sound in nearby words, especially in the beginning of words, is called alliteration. Alliteration, repetition of the same consonant sound. You know, we talk about consonant alphabets. A, E, I, O, U are vowel alphabets, not sounds. Vowel alphabets, not vowel sounds. They are vowel alphabets, and then the rest of them, B, C, D, F, G, they are called as consonant alphabets. So remember, alliteration is related to consonant sounds, not even alphabets. So I will talk about the difference between consonant sounds and consonant alphabets, vowel sounds and vowel alphabets in detail when the class is there in front of me in person, in physical setting, when the college opens. Okay. So what is alliteration? Repetition of the same consonant sound. When the consonant sound is repeated over and over again, twice, thrice, even more, at least twice, thrice, at least twice, there may be more, thrice, 4 times, 5 times. If a consonant sound is repeated over and over again, that's called, in nearby words, that is called as, and especially in the beginning of words, that is called as alliteration. Example: Betty bought bitter butter. You can clearly see B, which is a consonant, is repeated again and again and again in nearby words. That's called as alliteration. And then second example from Coleridge, and the poet Coleridge, and it is 5 miles meandering with a mazy motion. M, this one, this one, this one, this one, repeated over and over again 4 times in nearby words. So this is called as repetition of consonant sounds. I have an example of Faizaman Faiz in my mind, and in one of his couplets says, फिर दमे दीद रहे दीदो दिल दीद तलब, फिर दमे दीद रहे दीदो दिल दीद तलब. So he repeats dal, 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 dal. And let me give you an interesting example from Hindko. There is, when I was a kid, it was told to me by some of our elders, and you know what is it? And again, this local example in Hindko also repeats D, dal. Dauda di dadi de do dan dokh de. Dauda di dadi de do dan dokh de. Daud ki dadi ke do dan dukhte hain. So that is exactly, you know, dal is repeated over and over again. That is called as alliteration. Consonants is also repetition of consonant sounds, but not in the beginning of words, in the middle or at the end of the words. Last sound device is assonance. It is the exact opposite of alliteration. If alliteration is the repetition of the same consonant sound, then assonance is the repetition of the same vowel sound. Repetition of the same vowel sound in nearby words. Examples: each evening. This one, each evening. Don't look at the alphabets. Just feel the sound. Each evening. E is repeated in both cases. Otherwise, it is EA and it is only E. But the sound is the same. Alphabet is different. Each evening. E is repeated over. That's called as an example of assonance. And then deep dream of peace. Deep dream peace. So E and E. And the same way you can also say, team, and in the same way you can say meet. So in these two examples, team, meet, the same vowel sound. Remove M, T, remove T, E, like this. Meet, remove T, me, remove M, E, exactly the same vowel sounds. So in case of assonance, it is the vowel sound which is repeated over and over again in nearby words. These are the four major sound devices that are employed by the poets to have a special impact, a special effect upon the readers or the listeners. I hope you have understood everything thoroughly. Even if it was a technical lecture, even if there are some confusions, we can actually clarify the points later on. In the end, a critical question for you. I have not written it because there was no space on the board, but I always ask critical question. And the critical question is, why do humans take pleasure in sounds? Why melody? Why music? Why harmony? Why rhythm gives pleasures? It gives pleasure to the humans. Listen, kids, the same sound which makes us fall asleep can also make us stay awake. The sound of a rickshaw will not let you fall asleep. It will create hypertension. But the sound of a song will soothe you, calm you, and you will fall asleep. Why do human beings love melody, love rhythm, love music, love harmony? What's the reason? What is so special? It's just ordinary experience, You just listen to it and you feel pleasure. Why? This is a critical question for you. Why music thrills us? Why melody excites us? Why rhythm gives us pleasure? I hope you will ponder about it and then we'll be able to come up with some answer. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.